Turrell is not only a pilot. He builds his own planes. So when he went volcano hunting, he naturally did it from the air.
And when you flew around this area, what, you did 700 hours, I heard you say, when you were looking?
Yes, that's all from basically the Rockies to the Pacific Ocean.
Really? You did that whole journey?
And all the way from Lake Louise down into Chihuahua. The flying is quite natural once you're in the air. Just like with a boat, you know, the big thing is to take journeys with these craft. And it doesn't much matter what kind of plane it is either, 'cause, you know, so anything that gets you up is kind of worth it. Here's Roden Crater.
Here's Roden Crater.
For me, the great beauty of it was that it was out by itself in this kind of stage set of geologic time of the Painted Desert.
Yes.
Where you see the cliffs over there that were eroded and beautiful colors. So it was quite an impressive sight when I first came to see it. And we'll see the sun angle on it.
Just before we arrived, he showed me the hut where he lived for 2 years once he'd found the perfect crater.
There's the house over there to the right.
Yeah.
You see my air conditioner in the back.
God, that is the house on the prairie, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And what were you doing when you were in that little house, living there for 2 years?
Living and
watching,
thinking, and trying to figure out what it was I was doing.
Do you ever come back there and spend a night?
I do. Yes.
Finally, it was time to enter the crater itself. I found myself in a long, dark, gently sloping tunnel, leading towards what looked like a giant keyhole of light at the far end.
This is 900 feet long, so this can be a good walk.
What happens up here, James? Where are we going to?
We're going directly to the furthest south moonset. So this is the Alpha Tunnel. It's quite spectacular when the moon comes here.
As we headed further up the tunnel, the perfect circle of sky magically transformed into an ellipse.
Oh, amazing.
Roden Crater has been crafted with the precision of an optical instrument. When it's eventually finished, at a cost of around $40 million and much blood, sweat and tears, it will consist of a network of tunnels connecting 9 chambers and sky spaces, all of them precisely orientated so that they can receive and channel light from the sun, the moon and the stars. But Roden Crater is much more than a naked-eye observatory. It's a temple dedicated to light and to our perception of light. And James Turrell presides over it like a high priest.
Coming into the bowl of the crater.
Into the celestial vault.
Yes.
The rim of Roden Crater has been painstakingly landscaped by teams of workers using bulldozers and earth movers. More than 1 million cubic yards of volcanic material was shifted to create a phenomenon that Turrell calls shaping the sky.
As you say, it's exactly, it feels like this arch above my head. It's completely reversed what we were looking at.
This is the articulate presenter from England.
Well, if I was a bit tongue-tied, it's because some of the things revealed by James Turrell are beyond words.
I seem right in the sky here. It seems like the height is huge.
Coming face to face with the infinity of light-filled space that surrounds us was like being an astronaut without ever leaving the ground.
This is an amazing sight.
When I was first doing this, the guys who were on the caterpillars and bulldozers wanted to know what I was doing. And I said, well, I'm shaping this crater. Of course, they said, well, why are you shaping it? I mean, why? I said, well, actually, I'm shaping the landform in order to shape the sky, your perception of sky. By shaping the landform, I actually can change how you see the sky. I just wanted to know if they're going to get paid on Friday. It's kind of a hard notion to figure out, but the strange thing is these men, they were on the caterpillars, they would come down, they began to see it themselves. Pretty soon I noticed that they were bringing their friends down here, and they were standing up looking at this sky, and then they were lying down and looking at the sky, and then they were exchanging money. So they had obviously bet these friends of theirs that they were using their caterpillars to change the shape of the sky.
Turrell's temple teaches one fundamental, profound truth. Perception is like a toolbox, and we each use it to manufacture our own reality.
We form the shape of the sky. This quality of always feeling that we're receiving everything as opposed to the fact that we're part of really constructing or building that reality in which we live, so that that which we behold is something that we actually create.
In the globalized 24/7 information economy, we're drenched in light, unremitting, undifferentiated and profligate. It lights up the world, but leaves us in the dark. Illumination rather than revelation. I think that James Turrell and the other artists who work with light remind us just how complex the act of seeing is. In their art, light is purified and refined so that we can bathe our eyes in it. And when we look on the world again, we can really see what's around us, and maybe within us.
We'd like to be finished with a project in about 4 years, and then things will be quite different.
So how many years will that have been in the making?
Far too many. Far too many.